Take questions for Cale. James Hale on the right.
Cale, you've had 6 practices now. Tell us how your wide receiver core is coming together, and how does the passing game look to you?
I think it's been pretty good. You know, this has been a strain, learning the new offense for everyone, for even us as coaches. Guys have been putting a lot of great effort into it, and been some surprises by a couple guys, but so far we're heading in the right direction.
Who are the surprises with?
Just, you know, the young guy Jaden Gibson, you know, as a true freshman coming in. You know, obviously somebody that still should be in high school. Again, you know, guys are talented. That's why you bring them here and you let them come here. But sometimes, you know, sometimes it takes you, you know, a spring ball or, you know, another practice, a fall camp or something. But he's very talented.
Okay, let's go to Eric Bailey, Tulsa World over here.
Yeah. You've been through a lot of different installs. I think we think back to '99 when everything was radically changed on campus, and then during the different installs over the years, there was some familiarity with what was going on a little bit. What's this one been like compared to '99 when everything was so vastly different, and just the subtle changes over the years?
Well, first of all, I got to admit, I can't remember much in '99. I just remember that was the first time I started coaching here. But I love the system that we're in offensively. It's a very exciting system. And we've got a very impressive offensive coordinator. He's as well-rounded as any offensive mind I've ever been around in college football. You know, he's a guy that played offensive line. He learned it. And that's, to me, that's kind of always key, and that's where you get the bright minds are the ones that really truly learn the offensive line play, the run game and the pass game. And then obviously he had a chance to evolve and started getting into skill positions, and now he's with the quarterbacks. But very impressive as an offensive coordinator. I mean, there's not anything that in the offense that has to do with any 11 players on our side of the ball that he does not know alignment, assignment, technique. Very, very impressive. You know, the installs, we've done a good job through the spring. Players, like I said, it's been a strain for them to learn it. We force them. You know, we really make them think hard, but they've done a tremendous job. You know, between your workouts, between your academics, getting your homework done, your studies, your tutors, your classes, and then straining to be prepared for the next practice. It's not easy. It's not easy, but our guys have done a tremendous job.
We've talked to you in the past about being at Oklahoma for so long, but when we think back to 1999 and the different coaching responsibilities, receivers, running backs, recruiting coordinator, your journey to Oklahoma, just can you talk a little bit about just how much you've grown as a coach over the past 22, 23 years with all the different jobs you've had to do within this program?
Well, I just think it's something that I was kind of born with. I love taking on responsibilities. I like to be in charge or in control. I've, you know, over a lot of years, you know, I have no problem giving my input, whether my input is taken or whether I'm told it's a good idea or a bad idea. That's just how I was raised and how I was taught by my parents. But I just want to help. That's all I want to do, man. I want to help. I'm not one of those person that's going to sit in the back and not say anything. Again, you know, having the opportunity to be given a lot of responsibilities like you're talking about over the years has only made me not only a better football coach, but just a better person. And that's something that I want. I want responsibilities. I want people to ask me to have to do things. And sometimes I, you know, offer my opinions when I probably shouldn't, you know. But again, I've always said I have no problem people tell me, hey, you need to shut up, let us handle it, or, you know what, that's not a good idea. You know, I'm okay with people telling me no. I have no problem. But if I believe something in my heart, then I'm going to express it or tell somebody.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go to Boppers Billo, Sooner Scoop.
Yeah, Cale, the last couple months, we've heard about how Dylan has become the leader off the field. Now that you've seen him the last couple weeks, what stood about him on?
Well, the players, you can tell how they react when he's in the facility or he's in a meeting room or on the field. I mean, they absorb to him. They love his attitude. They love his demeanor. He's a guy that's been in this system for a long time. He knows it, just like the back of his hand. And he takes it upon himself to meet with guys and spend extra time with guys, whether it's in this facility or out of this facility, or to help them and prepare them for practices and the next day in the meetings. But you know what? That's what leaders do. That's what great players do. I mean, when you become somebody that is a leader or a captain, you've got great responsibility. And you just can't do it 4 days out of the 7 days of the week. I mean, you have to be that guy every single day. And that's why, I think being a captain or being a leader, I think that's very, very special, because there's a lot of work to that. And it's something that, again, you have to, you have to be that person every single day. But that's what he wants to do. He loves being that person. He loves helping people. And, if people know that you care about them and you love them, then they will be willing to do whatever for you and help you.
Okay, right here, Jesse Crittenden, Norman Transfer.
Cal, I just wanted to ask you about Theo Wease, obviously a guy that dealt with the injury last
Yeah.
year. Just what's the recovery process been like for him, and what have you seen from him so far during the spring?
I've been very, very pleased with him. He went through that injury process last year, like you mentioned. It came back towards the end, probably on a scale to 10. He was probably around an 8.5 or 9, and didn't get much play there the last 2 or 3 games that he was back. But he's getting back to Theo. And, first of all, he's one of the older guys, probably the oldest guy in the room, which he is. He's very mature. He's a very hard worker. He's very conscious of everything. He helps the other players. You can just tell he's a guy that he understands it. He gets it. And he, so far up to this point, he's had a great spring. He's had, I reached out to his dad, and I were just visiting last night about it. Just checking up on him and how's he doing, how's he running, how's he look, and we've been very pleased with him.
Okay, far right side here, anything?
Hey, Cale, to follow up on what you were talking about a bit ago with Jeff.
Yeah.
He's grasping the offense, how he sees offense. Can you pinpoint any differences in terms of how he approaches that versus how Lincoln did, per se?
Well, Lincoln was a great offensive mind. We all know that. Lincoln was very creative, probably one of the most creative offensive minds and guys I've ever been around. Lincoln, over time, learned the run game. In his background, in his history, it was mainly throwing and passing and getting the ball in space. And then I think, not only, I think he would also tell you that he became a better coach here when he got here because we ran the ball more. Again, just Jeff is he's already polished in all those areas. I mean, he's polished in everything, and it's very, very impressive. It's very impressive, and again, it's something that's only going to make us all better, and and we're going to be better players and better coaches because of it.
I think a lot of people connected because of the success, especially at the position, Lincoln and quarterbacks here, the run that you guys had under him. Should we not undersell Jeff's connection to the quarterback position? I mean, obviously, the offensive coordinator could have a connection. I get that. But
Yeah.
It sounds to me like it's maybe more diversified. Is that?
Well, I mean, just look at his past offenses. I mean, look at where he's been. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but he's the guy calling the plays. He's the guy that's called the plays. He was the guy that called all the plays last year. It's his offense. It ain't nobody else's offense. It was his offense at UCF. It wasn't anybody else's offense. So, just look at the history and look at the offense and look at the players who've had success in there. He's knocking on the door is one of the best, if not the best, offensive mind, one of the top offensive minds in college football.
Probably only have time for two more. Let's go to John Hoover, SI Sooners.
Hi, John.
Hey, Cale, where do you kind of stand in terms of having a go-to receiver, having a guy, a bell cow, a guy that has 75 catches versus 3 or 4 guys that have 30 catches?
Yep.
Because the staff is, the receiver corps has kind of got that feel to it, but there are guys on this corps that you would think have the capability of blowing that number.
Well, I think, in this system, we're going to have a chance for, several guys to have a lot of catches. We do our job as an offense and coaches and players. We're going to have multiple guys with, higher number of catches than we've had around here in a while. So it's just, the system's not just built to throw the ball to one person every single time. So that's the beauty of it. This ball is going to be spread around to a lot of playmakers. And, obviously there's, as a quarterback, you'll get in situations and you start to become comfortable with some guys and maybe have a little bit tighter trust with some guys here and there that, they may get a few more balls than the other guys. But again, we're going to have a good 5-6 strong receivers that are going to be able to go out there and because of the way we're playing in our offense, I think we're going to have, guys with a lot of receptions.
Real quick, with Marvin's ability to take the top off.
Yeah.
Is there a need to get the ball to him more frequently?
We want to get the ball to whoever's open, okay, and whoever gives us a chance to score touchdowns, and play the fastest we possibly can. Again, if you just focus just on one guy, then the defense is going to focus on one guy. So obviously Marvin is a very talented receiver, and again, like I said, I think that we're going to have a few receivers that are going to have a lot of receptions in this offense, and some guys have a little bit more high play potential because of their skill set. Marvin's one of those guys because he's faster and he can take the top edge off, but excited about the group, of course.
Thanks. Okay, JF Church, Church back there.
Coach, just going back to the 99 thing that Eric touched on, having been part of so many incarnations of the staff here, how exciting has it been for you to be reunited with Coach Venables and just the relationship you guys have had over the years?
Yeah, it's and I mentioned it, to you guys here a couple weeks ago. I'm as excited as I've ever been, and I'm just not saying that. I think OU football's in the best. We're heading in the best direction that we've ever been in a long time, and it starts with the top with our leadership. It starts with everything that we're doing off of the field with our players that they've been so excited to really grasp and want to be a part of with our Soul Mission group. Brent's a very impressive person. He was, here for, so many years before he left. He was obviously a great football coach, but he's really, he's taken a huge step from just the X's and O's and the football and the recruiting side of it. He's really dove deeper, and he's, looked into how can we all be better? How can we all serve one another? How can our players want to come to practice every single day? How can they want to come here and love to play football and love to compete with their guy next to you? And we're doing things that are making us all different. And like I said, I'm as excited and couldn't be more pleased and happy with what we're doing here and the direction we're going.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
Appreciate it, guys.